Alright, Anekantavad video. Alright, I really do have to quit putting quarters in this machine because the shit is just getting shittier and shittier and shittier. I mean, every song is just so bad that this box is singing. So, yeah, I gotta quit. I gotta quit subsidizing its performance. This is just... I mean, there's no way to even paraphrase what is going on here because it is so insipidly distant from anything I can relate to at all. So apparently his whole obsession is some sort of existential angst that we all are supposed to have, not about the dying process, but about being dead. And apparently being dead has us all in some sort of horrible crisis that we're just totally fucked up about this idea of being nothing again. Going back to where we were before we got here, which we know to be nothing bad because we had no memory of it being bad. But regardless, I mean, we have no rational reason to be afraid of that place, and we just are afraid of the transition. We're just afraid of going from I'm physically healthy and living to I'm a fucking goddamn mess and I'm dying. I'm so bad that I'm going to die. I'm so bad. I'm physically functioning so poorly that I am now going to die. This is what scares me. Okay, I mean, I'm not afraid of being dead. I'm afraid of dying, having my guts come out of my mouth, and going in some horrible, painful way, like cockroaches eating my nuts or something. Some sort of like feeling like somebody just smashed a sledgehammer into my spinal cord. Some kind of sensation that's going to be so obnoxiously horrible. And I'm going to have to relive it, and I'm going to feel it coming on again. And I'm going to have these terrible syndrome of horrifically awful sensual experiences. That I have some angst about. That he doesn't address. What is the use of this crap? I just don't get it. I don't understand. Why are you making videos that are of no practical application? You've given me no description of a real life circumstance where this whatever it is, don't worry, be happy, sing kumbaya crap has any application whatsoever in this reality that people are living in. Will you give me an example of the application of this will idea that you have, this idea of power that you're going to somehow wish you can apply in your life? Will you give me an example of the application of this crap, please? A real world example? Not a 200-foot tidal wave is coming. What song should we sing? My Way or Kumbaya? Oh, well, let's go with My Way. Yeah, I can do Sinatra. Yeah, I can do Sinatra. Yeah. And then we can just My Way our way into oblivion. Or, fuck, why even bother with that shit? Even if it's a 200-foot tidal wave, I'm probably going to say, hey man, I'm going to board up. Because I'm going to ride this fucker, okay? I'm going to ride it till I'm dead. I'm going to force it to smush me, really. I'm not going to do this give-in shit. Fuck this give-in shit. I'm going to be in the game until I'm out of the game. There's game to be played even when you're going out the back door. I mean, even when you're being shoved out the door, you can still do it with your pants on, so to speak. You can still do it with a little bit of style, okay? And singing My Way ain't very stylish, in my opinion. I'd say let's ride the wave. So fuck you. This is always such a pile of, right in, even if I'm going to ride the wave right into the Statue of Liberty's face. That's better than just standing there singing songs. Or whatever the fuck your plan is. I'm going to be absolutely just happy. I'm just going to have happy thoughts. Happy, 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 happy. Blah, 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 blah. What is it? This is just drivel.
Something of a recap.
Re-crap, you mean. Re-crap.
Experiences happen. Qualia seem to be as real as anything gets.
Well, whatever. This qualia thing. Again, some people have suggested that maybe you should throw this word in the toilet. Can't you deal with the real world? You have what's called thoughts, like, I'm thinking about the hypotenuse of the square root of the triangle of the blah, blah, blah. And then you have things that are called feelings, sensations. Okay, can't you just say the word sensations, feelings? Do you have to use this little pooftery, faggoty, qualia crap?
Experience seems to have components, both internal and external. I see things, and I put value on those things that I see, or
I put value. Again, this is just more crap, right? You either recognize something as having value. Oh, a woman's getting raped. That is not a good thing. I recognize it. Or the rapist is coming towards me. He just threw a knife at me and it's sticking in my gut and it hurts like hell. Yeah, okay, these are things you recognize happening. Fuck. You don't put anything anywhere.
Feel things, and I put value on those things that I feel. Suffering, I put value.
You don't, you don't do any of this shit, okay? Your fucking body does it for you. You have no fucking you choice in any of this crap. There's no you saying, I have chosen to feel the car running over my foot. No, your body makes you feel. Your brain creates the feeling. You don't do shit. You witness your brain creating feelings. God, you're so fucking full of shit.
Or perhaps suffering has value. Because when suffering happens to me, I feel bad.
Ooh, well, that's at least we're making some progress. We have recognized that bad feelings are bad. Okay, good.
If I take a big stick and smack it against a rock, I don't feel much except for maybe a little bit of vibration in my hand.
Well, again, but if you take the big stick and you smack a kitten, well, then you'll feel all kinds of things like empathy, and you'll say, my brain is now capable of understanding that the cat is going through suffering. So yes, you'd have be a much richer experience. So again, use an example of that of no value. Again, thank you.
When I do the same thing to my leg, suddenly there's a great deal more value attached to that. So, smacking something with a stick is not phenomenally a value equation.
Right, nobody knew that. Nobody had no clue. Everybody thinks that when you drive on the road, the pavement's screaming in horror. Everybody was confused about that. And we didn't realize that, no, you actually have to hurt something that's sentient for feelings to be created. Oh, gee. I didn't know that. Let's go find out if Aristotle knew that.
Smacking my leg with a stick is... by the same token, walking up and giving that rock a great big kiss is probably not going to have the same value as me walking up and giving, say, a Playboy centerfold a great big kiss.
Make her throw the fuck up. So I guess that's going to be, your pleasure versus her repulsion. But whatever. This... Again, can't you, there's no point in having the conversation. He won't concede to the point. He keeps thinking value is something he just places on things. It doesn't have value until he places value on it. So this is just an idiotic conversation. I mean, there's just no point in talking to people who don't understand that the person you're kissing is having an experience, you're having an experience, those experiences go into the math machine and get calculated out, and that will give you a net result. Duh. You add up the sentient impact. If I slaughter a whole bunch of people, I drive my car through a drugstore and a bunch of people are injured, but I got some free bubble gum, Yes, so there's my happiness at the free bubblegum, and then there's all there's pain and suffering, and so we can figure out that me driving through the drugstore would not be a good fucking idea. Because there'd be on net balance a bunch of pointless, wasted suffering. Duh. Wow, I have to have this conversation with fucking human beings. Really. I mean, fuck, rabid dogs can understand this shit.
The one has...
And we shoot
value
them.
From the other. Now, something in me wants more of the plus type value and less of the negative type value.
Something in you. No, that is you, stupid. Okay? It is not something in you. It's the very nature of you. Okay? That is the very thing that nature's using, is the fact that repulsion is intrinsically repulsive and pleasure is intrinsically not repulsive. Duh.
I want to avoid the negative stuff, and I want more of the positive stuff.
Yeah, stuff, again, positive in what sense, right? Less negative stuff. So yes, you want less of the more negative stuff and more of the less negative stuff. Would be the more accurate way to describe it, actually.
Where we seem to be getting tangled is
in the fact that none of this tripe has anything to do with any real life on planet Earth. It is all useless frog chasing red ball babble. It's less than a coherent nursery rhyme.
What follows from that. Something wants.
Why don't you just say something more accurate, like something needs? When something's in pain, it needs relief. Okay, you want to turn into a want. Again, wants can be variant. You can want world peace, or you can want the president to stick his finger up your ass. They're very different things, very different credibility, very different substantiality, very different things. So saying want is saying nothing. Something wants. Who the fuck cares? The important thing is what is needed, what is necessary. These are the questions we have to answer.
Something wants less of one thing and more of another.
Everything wants less suffering and more unsuffering. Everything.
And I'm not talking about less of any particular event, but they want less of this particular experience.
Right, the effect. Doesn't matter what the cause is, they just want less of that bad effect. Correct.
I use the example of an inevitable case of extinction.
Right, a preposterous, non-existent circumstance which no human being ever faces.
Okay, which I believe, the metaphor that I used was a gas chamber, and I believe that that's essentially our existence here. This.
Yeah, right. So this, again, is another trivialization. So he's conceding the fact that somehow life is futile. You're trapped in a place that's going to kill you, and it might kill you in this horrific manner, which won't be like instantly and pleasantly singing you songs. No, you're going to choke to death. Horribly. And yeah, that's what you're facing, and somehow you should have a baby now. Well, let's get the bitch pregnant, okay, because we're all going to die, so we got to put a new kid in the gas chamber. Or what are you saying? I mean, who the fuck cares how you handle your death? The question is, will 20,000 more people be shoved into the same room tomorrow? And is there something you might be able to do to stop the 20,000 tomorrow from being shoved in the same fucking room? That's what you should be thinking about, fuckhead.
The place that we live in is essentially a gas chamber that will one day asphyxiate us.
Yeah, we all know that. Again, who cares? Okay? The argument is, philosophically, what should we do about it? Should we put more pennies in the fucking machine? Should we pour some more gasoline into the fuel tank? Or should we turn the key off? Duh.
There's a jolly metaphor there. Now, what do we do about that? We rebel up until the last possible second against this.
Well, again, this is totally unprecise nonsense, right? We rebel to the last possible second. Second? Whoa, second. Second's pretty fast, okay? There's no point in rebelling to the last possible second and then presuming to do something else. Because when you only have 1 second left, you're not going to be able to do anything else with 1 second.
Or we try to get some positive value out of that fact.
Right, whatever that means. So again, another ambiguous statement. So here we are, we're facing doom, we're basically resigning ourselves to a futile circumstance with which we can't fix anything, and we should just put on our clown suit and sing a song for 4 seconds and then die. Why? Why should I bother getting into the clown suit? Why should I bother giving a fuck about any of this crap? Because we're just talking about 2 minutes in what has been a very long life of many minutes. Why the fuck should I give a fuck about these last 2? I mean, this is so idiotic when we know that most people don't die in 2 minutes. Most people die slowly and hard over a 2-year period, not 2-minute period.
We know that it's possible to get negative value out of it. For example, if I decide I'm not going to die, that gas is not going to kill me. End of story. Well,
what do you mean, end of story? No, that would be a perfectly rational way to deal with the circumstance. Just assume you're Superman and you have superpowers and then start doing Superman kind of things. Start breaking everybody else's neck or something. Okay, you know they're going to suffer. You know they're going to die slowly. You know they're all going to die. So the right thing to do would be just to go around and break everybody's neck so they die real quick and easy and painlessly instead of slowly and horribly. So you spare them all a bunch of suffering that they didn't need to experience. So yeah, you can do something good with your time that you have by just thinking you're immune. Yes, just pretend you're immune, pretend you're Superman, and behave like Superman. Great, good strategy. Very productive.
You don't have control over that. It is going to kill you. It might not kill you in 1 second. It'll kill you perhaps in 10 seconds or...
No, and that is under your control. So again, you've got it wrong. Okay, even in the gas chamber, you have control. So you can try hyperventilating, which will get the gas to kill you quicker. So it'll be less painful. Absorb more of the gas, die faster, better. So there are strategies you can apply. There is no control bullshit. You have control. You need to exercise your judgment. That's what it's there for. You have a logical faculty. You can sit there and analyze the circumstance and you can figure out there might be ways to minimize the harm.
Maybe longer. Presumably long enough for you to get to the door and smash your hands to pieces and perhaps kill a few people that stand between you and the door.
Well, again, that's your presumption of that's all that there is. There's no other option. You behave like a baboon or you sing Kumbaya. And there's absolutely nothing in between. That's the premise of this straw man pile of shit of a philosophical statement. It's shit.
But the gas will kill you. Same as life itself. The clock will eventually kill you. You might not die in 1 hour, 10 years, 50 years. Die you will.
Well, okay, so this is, he's just, die you will. So he just described 2 ways to die. 50-year death or 10-second death. Now he just described those and just fluffed them off like there's absolutely no distinction between those 2 things. Dying in 10 seconds is just like 50 years of dying. Okay, because the only thing that matters is being dead. That somehow the being dead part is the only part that matters. The dying part is irrelevant. Who cares whether you spend 50 years thinking cockroaches are eating your nuts or 10 seconds doing that? That doesn't mean anything. The only thing that matters is that you will be dead. And that's the thing that should scare you. Now, does that make any sense to you? Tell me honestly, as a human being, is that what scares you about death? The part where you're too weak even to roll over so you can puke on the side of the pillow instead of in your own face? That part doesn't scare you a hell of a lot more? It doesn't scare you a lot more to think of yourself caught in a fucking hospital with a bunch of tubes in you and you don't even know your own fucking name? That doesn't scare you a little tiny bit more than this silly idea that yes, like everything else, you're going to be forced to say game over and go home and eat your spinach? Fuck, I can't believe this shit.
You can rebel against that. You can surrender to blind panic at the inevitability of your demise. Or you can not surrender to blind panic at the inevitability of your demise.
Again, who's doing that? So if this fucking talking head creep, all right, why don't you volunteer at hospice and take this fucking talking head show to hospice patients and see how long it takes them with the last little bit of energy they have to throw their fucking pudding in your fucking face. Because this is just such a pile of tripe. It has nothing to do with life on planet Earth.
You can accept the horror of it all. You can say, there is nothing in this existence but fear, anxiety, agony, pain, etc. So I'm just going to surrender to that fear pretty much permanently.
Oh, I'm just going to acknowledge the fact that I'm in a horrible circumstance and all I can barely do is try to minimize how bad it can get. And that's the only thing I have to control it. I can take some pills, I can put a compress on my head, I can do something to try to minimize the suffering. And again, he's going to sit there and talk to you about how you're angsting over the fact that the suffering will end sometime. That's not what people are angsting about.
And up until the moment that the breath leaves my body, I will live in a state of existential panic. I have felt existential.
Well, whatever. That's not the 2 choices people have again. Okay? They're going to fall somewhere else in reality. And most people don't ever even deal with this shit because it's not how people die. Okay, this is not, you don't just all of a sudden go from I'm alive and now I'm going to be dead. And I'm going to have thoughts and I'm going to sing songs and I'm going to do all this other bullshit. No, you have flaming diarrhea, your eyeball falls out of your goddamn head, your tumor starts leaking pus all over the fucking place. You have a few fucking distractions. And you really don't got time for this bullshit about your existential crapola.
Panic, and I can see how someone could actually go that way. I've never spent a great deal of time in a hospital watching people die.
Seems quite obvious that you've never even researched the subject whatsoever. You've never seen a TV show. You've never seen a documentary. You don't even know what a hospital is. You don't know what a fucking nursing home is. You don't know what hospice is. You don't know what cancer is. You don't know what a goddamn thing is. You're not fucking from Earth. You're obviously from fucking some fucking place else. Some cookie factory made you or something. Some popcorn company. You're not a fucking human being, you're a fucking lunatic.
But it always fascinated me what people go through when they see the Reaper enter the room.
It fascinates me what they do when the Reaper comes in. Who the fuck is he? Who are you talking to? Yeah, it fascinates me when they see the three pigs. And then Goldilocks shows up, and then the three bears are there too. It's everybody shows up for their death. And then SpongeBob is there. SpongeBob made an appearance at his death. What the fuck are you talking about?
Is it, well, I knew you were coming. Hello. Or is it, oh God, I still must resist? I don't know. I will.
No, there's a sound of gas that farts out of their mouth, and their last breath goes. Yeah, that's how it works. Fuckhead. Fuckhead! Fuckhead!
I guess, presumably. Assuming I have any advance warning.
Assuming I have any advance warning, again, which has nothing to do with how everybody on Earth pretty much dies. Okay, you don't get advanced warning, you die slow, you die through a process, you're either not going to see it coming, or you're going to see it coming forever. The train is going to take 4 fucking years to run you over. It's going to start really slow at your big toe, and it's going to slowly roll over you.
Assuming that I don't get killed by a dropping piano that I don't see. But
well, I really do hope that you don't have that good fortune, because you really deserve to get the full, slow train. And then you can play this fucking tripe of a video. I hope your family says, oh, he'll love to hear his own videos. And they play this tripe over and over and over again into your fucking psychology, so you can scream internally at the inaneness of this tripe.
inasmuch as I can anticipate that moment, I have options. I have the option to
You have strategies, that's right. You have knowledge of reasoning and strategies. That's right, the light bulb just blew out. What should I do? Should I pray to God? Or shall I go to the cupboard and get another light bulb and screw it into the dead light bulb socket? Ooh, let me think. Which will I choose? The rational thing or the irrational thing? Fuck.
Render to blind panic. I have the option to
surrender to blind panic. Again, somebody's already pointed it out to you, but how exactly does somebody choose to surrender to blind panic? I mean, it really can't be done. Okay, especially in that context of that statement. That's like saying they chose to do the stupid thing. You know, like they deliberately said, oh, here's the stupid way, I'll do that. Fuck. I mean, it assumes they know it's stupid and that they know there's an alternative to stupid, and you're saying that somehow they knew there was an alternative and they chose the stupid one. Fuck.
Surrender to negative experience.
Alright, so if I break his leg backwards, he could choose to say it hurts, or he could choose to say it doesn't.
To sort of say, this is a fight I can't win. So the only thing I can possibly do is...
Again, is there any realistic circumstance that could befall you where you can know there's no hope? There's no possibility of eradicating or minimizing or diminishing the problem? Is this a realistic thing that actually faces human beings? They're in a circumstance where they know there's absolutely nothing they can do but just sit there with their thoughts? I mean, I suppose this would only be applicable in the circumstance where you've been paralyzed and you can't do anything because you're paralyzed. And then you could just say, okay, well, I might as well sing some songs because I got nothing else to do because I can't move. So, yeah, no, I guess I'll sing some songs. Because I got no choice, because I can't say anything, I can't move anything, I can't do anything, so I might as well just sing some songs. Maybe that circumstance, but every other circumstance, I see no applicability here.
Give in to horror. I have that option. I have that option of attempting not to. I have the option of attempting to seek out non-horror, to seek out...
Or whatever. Yeah, non-solution. I will choose to pretend it doesn't exist. Even that won't work, because, yeah, I'm going to be, like, my eyeball's going to be falling out, and pus will be shooting out of my ear, so I really can't pretend it's not happening, because those things are actually going to be happening.
Things like joy, happiness, contentment, equanimity.
Oh, please. Yeah, play that when this fucker's dying. Please, somebody who really wants this fucker to get what he deserves, play that shit, okay, when the cockroaches are eating his nuts. Just so he can go, oh, fuck me. How the fuck could I say something so silly? I mean, really, people are sitting there with cockroaches eating their fucking nuts, and you're talking this tripe. I could just sing a happy song. La 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 la.
Humble, humility, whatever you want, whatever terms you want to use for the cardinal
bullshit.
virtues.
That's the term. Yeah, bullshit. Fantasy nonsense. None of this shit has anything to do with real fucking life on fucking Earth.
I have options.
Bullshit.
They might not be easy options. People might think that it's easy to just surrender to blind horror. It's not.
I don't even know, again, what does that even mean? Surrender to blind horror. What does that fucking goddamn mean? Does it really matter? The shark is going to eat me. Does it really matter whether I scream or I don't scream? Do you fuckers think that's what matters? What my fucking attitude is as the shark eats me? Fuck. I can't believe this tripe. Oh, well, he had the right mental attitude. Well, he got sawed in half by the shark. Fuck.
People might say that it's easy to sort of say, I choose happiness.
Yes, okay, go ahead. Choose happiness. I hope you spend 3 fucking years on your deathbed and you choose happiness. Go ahead, fucktard. Let me see you do it. I'd love to see you prove your theory of crapola here by actually doing it.
That's not easy either. Equally difficult is attempting to lift that finger and go for the plus side. But at least the choice...
Whatever that means. Lift that finger and go for the plus side. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Alright, you're Joe Theismann. You're just throwing a fucking touchdown pass. Lawrence Taylor comes on you and he snaps your motherfucking leg backwards. How do I go for the plus side? How do I lift my finger towards the plus side?
Choice is there to be made.
La la la
There's
la
a fork in the
la.
road.
Blah blah porridge, 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 porridge.
Every
Porridge,
second
porridge,
of
porridge,
existence, every
porridge.
microsecond
Porridge,
of
rabbit,
existence,
bunny, hop, hop. Bunny, hop,
at the
hop.
very
Porridge,
heart
porridge.
of everything
Bunny, hop,
that
hop.
ever happened
Porridge,
to
porridge.
anybody.
Bunny, hop, hop. Bunny, hop, hop.
Some
Porridge,
choice
porridge. Bunny,
has to
hop,
be
hop.
made.
Uh-huh. Bunny, porridge, porridge, hop, hop.
That's the axis at which I believe the will stands.
Oh, whatever. Again, your will is just whether or not you are dominated by what programs, what rational principles and ideals run you. I am personally, yes, a bit egomaniacal. I will demand of myself certain performance level. I will, through ego alone, jump on the grenade if I have to, just because I'm going to prove I can do it. Okay? I'm going to prove it because I'm a man and I'm going to do the manly right goddamn thing. I'm going to prove I kicked the fucking ass. So that's why I'm going to do it. Alright? I'm going to motivate myself through these mechanisms and these principles. I'm going to basically just humiliate or guilt myself into doing what has to be done. And that's the way it's going to be. That's the mechanism, the little bit of thought program that'll go into my basic behavior. There's no magic will somewhere that just shows up. I say, Will you show up and help me? I need you, Will. Hey, Will, where are you, Will? Hey, Will, where are you, Will? Show up. Can you help me out here, Will? No, there's none of that bullshit. I either have programs that'll make me do the right thing, or I don't have programs that'll make me do the right thing. The fucking end. Retards.
Some people don't like the term will. Fine. Use the term consciousness. Whatever you...
Fuck you. No, we've already told you what the term is. The term is programs, ideas, themes, notions, dependencies, addictions. These are the things that will drive you.
want, whatever it is that prefers one thing over another and feels the need.
Thinks the need. Again, thinks the need. Doesn't feel the need. Thinks the need. Fucking ideas run in the head. They think you into an environment. They show you images of humiliation and say, don't humiliate yourself, shithead. They're symbols.
To both evaluate and make a choice, and if possible, intervene.
Intervene in the same way that your brain intervenes all the fucking time. You are constantly intervening.
That's what I would call the will. You can...
yeah, well, whatever. It's fucktarded, okay? It doesn't describe the reality of brain function. You're off anything called the reasonable description of reality path.
Call it the endoplasmic reticulum.
No, I won't call it that, because it's complete crap.
If the word will doesn't work for you, I don't...
Themes, ideas, principles, knowledge, information. These are the things that will make it possible for you to say, is there a strategy to be applied? Or is there not a strategy to be applied? Can I possibly do this? Do I understand enough about thermodynamics and momentum forces? Or blah, 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 blah. This is what will decide how you will react. It will decide what you do will be what you willed in the end, but what you do will be decided by what you know, what you've experienced, what you've been conditioned to do, what you have learned to do. You don't throw strikes in baseball because you will the ball to be a strike. You have to learn how to throw strikes.
Care. It doesn't matter. The symbol we use to describe what it is we refer to, assuming it's even characterizable as an it, but language seems to demand that we call it an it or whatever. The thing that makes the choice, the thing that evaluates, the thing that is on the receipt.
The thing that evaluates, the thing blah blah blah. None of that happens, okay? The brain chooses. The brain is a deciding machine. It doesn't choose, it decides. Very different things. It functions and it produces. Okay? There is none of this choice crap taking place. There is decisive, it will bang off that, it will do this, it will do that, and then it will finish with that. You have to build the pathways and then it runs the pathways.
The receiving end of the value is what I refer to as the will. The thing that stands at the fork in the road and says, which side am I going to take?
Well, look, they've already proven that your subconscious makes the decision before you're aware of it. Again, your consciousness is clued in later, okay? Your consciousness is a witness to the whole fucking thing. Your programming decides which fork in the road you're going to take. So that's it. There's nothing complicated here. You either have knowledge that the road to the left will be more efficient, or you don't have knowledge that the road to the left will be more efficient. You either understand why one road is better than the other, or you don't understand. You have a habit of going right, so you go right. These are the scenarios. There's no other scenario. There's no, hey, Will, which way should I go? Bullshit.
The thing that perceives itself to be subject to programming and wants to break free of that programming
is just a program. If you have a program that says, I want to break free of my programming, well, that program is a program. It's another program that wants to break free of the program. It's another Borg trying to say, I want to get away from the Borg and join the Borg. Oh, whoops.
We don't even have to be able to break free of the programming. We don't even have to understand the possibility of success. But we have.
There's no fucking such thing. You can't break your brain. You can't go outside of your brain. You can't acquire the super throwing of the strike capacity. There is no special place that you go to get this strike throwing ability. You have to learn mechanisms of physical and psychological discipline that enable your body to throw strikes. That's it. They're programs.
Have to want to. The fact that I understand that I'm a puppet on strings and I don't want to be a puppet on strings is what I...
Well, then maybe you ought to get the fuck over that, right? So there's the easy solution. Just say, fuck it. I ain't gonna make no more puppets.
Refer to. Whether or not free choice is possible is irrelevant to this point, this particular point I'm making. Free will.
Well, it's only relevant because you're the one that's ambiguously implying that will comes from someplace else than knowledge, understanding, and simple programs that you run. Practice makes perfect kind of bullshit.
Well, whatever. I'm conscious of the fact that I'm perhaps a cog in a gigantic, infinite perhaps, machine. Causality.
well, whatever. The machine isn't all that machiney, okay? All the biology on Earth is a machine that basically just creates methane. It isn't really deserve the word machine. It's so fucking crude and stupid. It's not really something you could qualify in the dictionary as a machine. That which farts 24 hours a day. I mean, that's really not something you call a machine. Consumes suffering and creates methane. Brilliant.
I understand that. And maybe even I understand that I can't get out of it. But I want to get out of it. That's the context in which I use the term will.
Well, that's just all fine, right? So again, I'm just